Imagine this. It's 10:37 p.m. on a chilly November night in a small town called Willow Creek, Illinois. The streets are quiet, almost too quiet. A black woman sits in her car, parked on the side of the road. She's just finished a long shift at work, and all she wants is to get home. But tonight, the universe has other plans. Because in less than 5 minutes, her life will change forever. And what happens next will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about justice, courage, and the power of the human spirit. Willow Creek isn't the kind of place where you'd expect trouble. It's a town where everyone knows everyone, where the local diner serves pie that tastes like childhood memories, and where the police station is just a stone's throw back eye from the town square. But beneath the surface, there's a tension that's been simmering for play HTRs. A tension that Aisha has felt every time she walks into a store and feels the eyes following her. Every time she drives through town and sees the Confederate flags hanging from porches. Every time she hears the whispers that seem to follow her wherever she goes. Officer Dan Harris has a reputation that Aisha is all too familiar with. He's the kind of cop who sees a black person driving a nice car and assumes they must be up to no good. The kind of cop who's quick to pull the trigger and ask questions later. And tonight, he's got his sights set on Aisha. Officer Harris, license and registration, ma'am. Of course, officer. May I ask why I'm being pulled over? Your taillight's out. Now, license and registration. Aisha hands over her documents, her hands steady. But she knows this isn't about a taillight. She's seen this play out too many times before. The camera zooms in on Officer Harris's face as he examines her license, his eyes narrowing. Aisha Johnson, you're not from around here, are you? Aisha, I live here, officer, just like you. Officer Harris smirks, clearly not satisfied with her answer. He walks back to his patrol car, leaving Aisha to wait. The camera cuts to her face as she takes a deep breath, her mind racing. She knows she needs to stay calm, but she also knows she can't let him intimidate her. Aisha knows the game. She knows the rules. And she knows that if she doesn't play her cards right, this could end very badly. But what Officer Harris doesn't know is that Aisha has a secret weapon. A weapon that's been honed by years of navigating a world that's often stacked against her. A weapon called intelligence. Step out of the car, ma'am. May I ask why, officer? Just step out of the car. Aisha knows this is a critical moment. She knows that if she complies without question, she's giving him the upper hand. But if she refuses, she risks escalating the situation. She takes a deep breath and makes a decision. Officer, I'd be happy to comply, but I need to know why I'm being asked to step out of my vehicle. The man picks up his pace. If that's the case, it's a matter of life and death. Is there a problem? Officer Harris's face hardens. He's not used to being questioned, especially not by a black woman. He steps closer to the car, his hand resting on his holster. Officer Harris, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Step out of the car. Now. Aisha knows she's walking a fine line, but she also knows that she has rights, and she's not about to let him trample all over them. She reaches for her phone and starts recording. Officer, I'm recording this interaction for my own safety. I'd like to know why I'm being asked to step out of my vehicle. If there's a problem, I'd like to address it. But I need to know what's going on. Officer Harris's face turns red with anger. He's not used to being challenged, and he doesn't like it one bit. But Aisha's calm demeanor and clear knowledge of her rights have thrown him off balance. Fine, stay in the car, but don't think this is over. He storms back to his patrol car, clearly frustrated. Aisha watches him go, her heart pounding. She knows she's won this round, but she also knows that the fight isn't over. The camera cuts to her face as she takes a deep breath, her hands still gripping the steering wheel. Aisha knew she had to be smart. She knew she had to stay calm. And she knew she had to use every tool at her disposal to protect herself. But what she didn't know was that this encounter was about to take a turn that no one could have predicted.
Dispatch, this is Officer Harris.
I need backup at the corner of Maple and 5th. I've got a suspicious vehicle here and the driver's being uncooperative. Aisha hears the call over her scanner app. She knows she needs to act fast. She pulls out her phone and starts live streaming the encounter on social media. Within minutes, the video starts gaining traction. People from all over the country are watching, and they're not happy with what they're seeing. Aisha knew that the only way to protect herself was to shine a light on what was happening, and that's exactly what she did. Within minutes, the video of her encounter with Officer Harris went viral. People from all over the country were watching, and they were outraged. Aisha, this isn't just about me. This is about all of us. And if we don't stand up now, nothing will ever change. The camera cuts to the police station, where the chief of police is watching the live stream. He knows that this is a PR nightmare, and he knows that he needs to act fast. He picks up the phone and calls Officer Harris. Chief of Police, Dan, stand down. I repeat, stand down. This is over. Officer Harris is furious, but he knows he has no choice. He gets back in his patrol car and drives away, leaving Aisha alone on the side of the road. The camera cuts to her face as she watches him go, her heart still pounding. She knows she's won, but she also knows that the fight is far from over. Aisha knew that this wasn't the end. She knew that there would be more battles to fight, more injustices to confront, but she also knew that she had the power to make a difference, and that's exactly what she did. This is the story of a woman who refused to back down, a woman who stood up for what was right, even when the odds were stacked against her, a woman who proved that even in the face of adversity, courage and intelligence can prevail. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where the odds seem insurmountable, remember Aisha Johnson. Remember her strength, her courage, and her unwavering determination to fight for what's right.